statutes.
Yeah, if you know what I do when I have folks that come into my office, I have the Minnesota State statutes sitting just to my left, and all the volumes, 16 volumes of statutes are in there, and I really point to that and say, if we don't change any laws, this is how much the increase is, and that's eye-opening for a lot of people, and you know, it has a lot to do with our aging population. It has just a lot to do with the demographic shifts that we have in the state of Minnesota as to why we're seeing those increases occur. And then there is actually some inflationary increases that's automatically built into a lot of these statutes as well. We're trying to get a better handle on that. Like, are we automatically putting some of these increases on autopilot when they're not needed to be on autopilot? And you know, in many ways, it just sort of is. That makes the ability for some of the departments to not have to come back to the legislature to ask for increases when they have that inflation built into it. But it creates a challenge in our state's budget when you're automatically increasing the spending by 2, 3, 4%. And I mean, we have the education bills, for example, where they'd be thrilled to have that type of an increase automatically built into their budgets, but unfortunately they do not, and so they do come back to the legislature, and we're facing those pressures in one area where there's automatic inflation, and then in another area where it's not, and so we don't have that option to say no in some of the health and human service inflation. So it creates some definite budget challenges, and I know within my caucus, you know, people would just as soon shrink the size of government, but yeah, when you start and say, based on current law, this is how much things are going to increase, and then if you're going to provide tax relief, you have to figure out where are we going to peel that away from. And fortunately, the state has had a strong economy, and we are seeing good growth, and you know, low unemployment numbers, of course, is good. So high employment is a positive thing. We need to get more people participating in the workforce in Minnesota. That's going to be something, you know, the unemployment rate may be low, but there's a large segment of the population that's not participating in the workforce, and we got to pull those folks in. You know, when the economy is strong, I guess in my view, we should have a decrease in some of that spending of support and bringing people in, because again, you should have folks fully employed and fully engaged and participating in our economy, and we need to make sure we've got all those folks on board as well, and that would help out the state of Minnesota as well.